Call the meeting to order, January 21st, 2026, Plan Commission, Zoning Board of Appeals. Call to order, let's do the roll call first. Robert Earhart.
Here.
I'm here, John Beards. John Gundorf.
Here.
John Coyle.
Here.
Rachel Rockwell.
Here.
Carrie Ann Dubina.
Here.
Rebecca Sable is absent. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from December 17th. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Need a second?
Second.
Second by Robert Earhart. Motion passes. Do we need to take?
We got to vote.
We got to vote on that, okay. Okay, voting on the minutes. Robert Earhart.
Aye.
Myself, John Beards, yes. John Gundorf.
Yes.
John Coya.
Yes.
Rachel Rockwell.
Yes.
Carrie Ann Dubina.
Yes.
Rebecca Sable is absent. Minutes are approved. New business, there's no new business. Old business is a continuation of the public hearing from last month for petition number 25-016. Special use permit for ACOM and made a fiber touch facility.
You need to open.
Call to order.
Call to order the public hearing.
Okay, so I call to order the public hearing.
Motion to open the.
Motion to open.
Yeah. Roll call.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay,
Now we got to vote.
we got to vote to open it? Okay. Okay, the vote to open the meeting, Robert Earhart,
Yes.
myself, John Beers, yes. John Gundorf,
Yes.
John Coya,
Yes.
Rachel Rockwell,
Yes.
Carrie Ann Dubina,
Yes.
Rebecca Sable absent. Meeting is open.
So Bravo is going to do a brief presentation on what has been submitted since previous.
Yep, so this is the same case that was reviewed at the last meeting on December 17th. At the time, the Plan Commission continued because they wanted to see the following changes. A landscape plan that should be altered to mimic the landscaping proposed for the community solar farm project immediately east of the subject property. Building elevations that show the proposed huts with gable roofs and gambrel roofs, along with some color variations and then color variations for the fencing. The applicant has provided these updates. And they've also updated the cover letter and the site plan to now show an initial build of two 15-foot tall fiberglass structures as opposed to an initial build of one 12-foot tall fiberglass structure. The potential maximum final build-out still remains 6 huts, so nothing else has changed. And staff still does recommend approval. Staff recommends the Plan Commission recommend approval to the Village Board for petition 25-016 for the special use permit with the same conditions as before, subject to final engineering approval. The installation of the future huts within the subject area may be approved at the staff level, and that there shall be no above-ground poles installed and all lines will be buried.
Does the petitioner want to say anything additional? Do you want to add anything at this time?
No.
So at this point, I think we would just, first I'd just reiterate, again, this is a special use, so we have general findings of facts that we should review and discuss, and the general discussion and parameters of the discussion should be based on those findings. So I just wanted to preface that. So with that, maybe we just open it up for discussion, just continuation of discussion by the Planning Commission with respect to the revised elevations and the revised landscape plan.
Okay. So we'll open up the discussion with what is presented tonight that's new in terms of landscaping and elevations of the building that's been presented.
Also the 2 huts being built.
And now there's 2 buildings that are going to go in.
You probably should have the applicant walk through the changes, just as a courtesy, because again,
Just
walk through
scroll.
the architectural changes, maybe.
Just scroll to the bottom to the landscape.
Oh, sure.
There you go. So you can see we we added a berm from property line to the driveway to the property line. That's 3 foot tall, and then planted trees and bushes on top of it to hide everything from the roadway. So that was the change. On the landscaping plan, if you scroll down, keep going. There you go. Our designer shows what it looks like with the huts and from the side view, what the landscaping looks like. If you keep scrolling, there's another visual as well. There you go. With the hut and the trees and the bushes and what the different architectural things that we can do. So there's kind of 3 different versions of the architectural shown here as your line of sight from a car that's on the roadway. Pretty much your line of sight is barely see the top of that, but you're going to go through those trees, so you're really not going to see anything.
I've got one quick question.
Yep.
Looking at the old plan I had, they showed 6 buildings. Now they show 12.
Still 6.
Is it 6 pads with 2 structures on each pad?
No. So what you're looking at is the buildings come in 2 halves and they get bolted together or welded together. So each one of these pads is one building.
Okay.
Yeah, the final build-out has not changed.
Okay. The drawing must have, because the other one showed 6 pods. And now I was seeing 12, and I just wanted to be clear. So what they're showing is the 2 halves going together as one, is what it is.
Yep.
And then on your side view, you're saying that the eastern cedars will be taller than the structures. Is your landscaper putting in very mature landscape to start?
That shows like full build out once it's fully grown out.
Oh, so like in 15 years? No, I mean, there are extra large plant material
The
that
big,
landscapers
yeah,
can't
so we're gonna put
purchase.
in the biggest one. Usually you're putting in like a 10-gallon and like 3 to 4 inch DBH. And
3
that's
inch
the biggest,
caliber?
the biggest
Okay.
caliber I can put in to get it established.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna.
Well, you had said
Get
it
a
was
little
gonna
bit
block the
direct.
building, so,
Correct. So when they talk about blocking stuff, it's always full growth of the landscaping.
Right, okay.
So line of sight also shows the fence that's going in and how it blocks as much of the site as possible. So as you go switch to the different roofs, you'll see more of it or less of it. Which calls out with the Gamble roof and just the regular 4x12 residential style roof. So if you scroll down, you can get to the actual huts. There you go. So this is the just normal 4x12 top with brick siding. This kind of just makes it look like a brick building that's out there. And if you scroll down, the next one is more of that barn look. So you're going to put siding on the side of it and then keep going, and it should show the opposite view. There you go, the big kind of shed barn look to it. So those are the 2 options that our architectural engineer came up with and got approved. And those are the biggest changes on there besides the second hut, which the reason why the second hut is going in is because they built so many so quickly that they have enough to land a second one out here. And while we're already at it, might as well just install the second one. But it doesn't change any of the future build out or anything like that.
thank you.
Yep.
What kind of siding are they thinking of? Do they have a type yet?
No, they don't have a specific type yet. The architectural engineer just said they could apply something to the outside of that concrete, so we were thinking like some type of hardy board.
Okay.
So
So low maintenance, basically?
yeah, got as little maintenance as possible, make it look good as long as possible.
Hey, John, can you ask for public comment?
No. Any public comment?
Yeah, any public comment?
Anything else to present from your side?
No. But I'm
Rachel-
here to answer more questions.
Rachel, what was it that you sent in the way of your email?
Yeah, so, just wanted to open up discussion regarding the look of this. John, you had mentioned wanting to do kind of a farmette look, and I do really like this roof line. Do you like this roof line?
Yes,
Is this kind of
yes.
what your concept?
That's what I thought would look good.
So I decided to send the commissioners just kind of for discussion purposes, and I guess are we free to do that now? Okay. Some different color variations. I offered some thoughts and concepts that were just personal to my own opinions. I like this roof line. I personally would like to see, so what I sent everybody was kind of a color combination that goes with, I saw a notation that the developer prefers saddle or Winchester gray as far as fence coloring. There was a note on your documentation. So to go with the saddle fencing, can you guys do board and batten and composite?
I mean, we can, they just prefer the Trex because the Trex is a composite, it doesn't rot.
No, on the building. On the building,
building?
board and batten. Can you do that in a composite material?
Yeah.
Okay. So, with the look of this, if we want it to look like a farmette, I am looking for it to look a little bit brighter. I have a color scheme. I'd like to see an architectural shingle. And the color scheming that I had forwarded to everybody was kind of a creamier white. And I would prefer to see board and batten. And then the door and all of the accessories be a darker bronze to tie in as far as from a paint perspective. So I sent that to all the commissioners to consider. And so I don't know what everybody's thoughts are on it, but
Does the village have any comment on that?
No, there's nothing in our code that dictates those type of standards.
and
The only-
on the notation, they're waiting for us to guide them for coloration.
The one thing I don't want to do is make it stand out.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I would think a neutral color would be good.
Okay, and what color is neutral for you?
I don't know.
It's usually like a beige or tan is what most people go with.
Something in that area, because I don't think if you go red and I think if you go white, it's just going to stand out.
It's a creamier white. I'm not opposed to what
Yeah.
you're saying, but if we want this to look like a farmette, there's a lot of different color variations to go with. I am not personally on board with red.
It'd be like the Indiana Hoosier cream color.
Well, that's kind of this color's a creamier, warmer white.
The Oklahoma Sooners also have that creamy, it's like a tannish white.
Yeah, I mean, there's a gazillion whites.
Yeah.
So, that's where that is. But the point is I opened it up. If everybody has other ideas, thoughts, concepts, you did what we asked you to do, which was come back with this roof line and a different landscape plan. The other things that I didn't put on there is if we're gonna go for a whole farmette look, I personally had a cupola put on top of my garage up north that is all done in composite. I personally would like to see a cupola on one building, so it looks like an actual farmette within the interior. And as far as landscaping, I did ask for a variation on a couple different trees, which I'm sure Carrie Ann will mention. The only other thing that was missing for me on the landscape was potentially some gray with beige large outcropping stones on both sides to kind of balance out. But other than that, I thought it looked good. I personally prefer the board and batten with all the vertical on the fence. I think that it adds dimension I do like the all brick, but I think board and batten might add a little dimension to the buildings.
Okay.
So are you looking for everything to be the same color, or are you looking for
No,
different?
I'm not looking for different colors.
So you're just looking for one for all?
Yeah. Something that looks clean. These buildings are close together. You're probably, the fence is 8 foot. Some of these buildings are 15, so you're just gonna see the top. On a board and batten, you'll see a little bit of that dimension on the upper portion. If one has a cupola on it, it looks like, you know, it would actually be a little bit of a farmette look to it.
Well, if we ask for the gambrel roof, they're gonna be taller. They're gonna be taller than 15. They're gonna be 18 and a half.
Okay.
So I think that's just something we might wanna think about. I'm not sold on the gambrel roof personally. I'm afraid we're getting a little into the weeds here and like asking for a lot.
Myself, I would just like to see it stay neutral as they have it planned. I think they fit in a lot better. The one on Bliss Road, you don't even notice.
I mean, it just looks like plywood. This is right on top of our road where thousands of cars drive by every day.
I think the residential roof personally is fine, you know, it's shorter.
I'm not opposed to a residential roof, whatever everybody wants to do on the roof line. I'm just saying, if we want it to look like a farmette, it could look like there's a point to it, as opposed to a bunch of little, you know, baby buildings that you can see, you know, 2 feet of.
I just don't want to see it draw more attention than what it would.
I understand.
I'm open to whatever. All I'm saying is if it came in the way it was, I would be just as happy.
Right. So you and I are gonna differ on that.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Utilities have a really great way of paying very little taxes and not looking good.
No,
So I think we're trying to go in a different direction with future utilities, and that's what this is. So, like John had mentioned, he came back, the
Yeah.
developer came back with a couple different options, so it's for.
No, I have no problem. All I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I'm open to anything.
Are the buildings gonna be all the same size?
Yes.
Yeah.
My question is, once you get this all in, is there going to be all kinds of piping coming into this? Or is all of the fiber optic already there?
The fiber isn't there yet. Sometimes the OSP will run the fiber in the right of way before we're there, and that could be already done. But we will install all of that piping from the right of way into the
So
compound.
each building only runs one set of wire, or is there several?
One set of wire usually is 3 to 4 buildings. They're putting in like 864 or 1728 strands of fiber. That's a pretty big strands of individual rods.
Can you go back to the site plan?
Yes.
So where are the one that has the 6 buildings on it? Just
Oh,
looking for.
the full build out one?
Yeah.
Future one. There you
So you've got 5 across the southern edge, right?
go. Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the one on the northeast corner, right?
Yes,
And then the other pads are for generators?
correct.
Which
Emergency generator.
really won't be seen from the road, correct?
Correct.
What if we did the building that is on the northeast corner with the gambrel roof, and the other ones that are on the backside did those with the gable roofs? I don't think they all have to be the same.
Okay,
I think if we did them all with the gambrel roof, that might be way too much.
okay. I like the idea of one standing out.
Yeah,
If we're
and put
going
the
for a
cupola on there
format,
and
yes,
dress that one
that's a
up,
great
and do the
idea.
ones on the backside
Yeah.
with the simple gable roofs.
That'll
Put all
work.
of the same material,
Mm-hmm,
do them with the board and batten on there. I think at least they'll look complementary without being exactly the same. And a lot of farms, you might see, the buildings are not all the same, like you have, you know, sheep's coops and
Yeah.
you have different sized buildings. I think that would look good, that would give you a, kind of a nice building on that corner. The other ones could kind of fall back and
yeah, it's a good
not be
idea.
so.
That is
What-
the one that you would see more of.
I think it'd be too Walt Disney-ish if we had them all
Yeah,
the same.
okay.
I think you're gonna draw too much attention.
Yeah.
That's a good point, John. And your thoughts on an architectural shingle compared to the flat?
That's village requirement is architectural shingle.
Well, they have a flat shingle as far as on the,
Yeah.
The house-
It should be an architectural shingle.
the rendering looks flat. so I don't.
Well, it's a,
Or do we do a metal roof on the gambrel roof and an architectural shingle on the?
With the
on
cupola.
Yeah, where you don't see it.
That would be nice.
Is that a possibility?
yeah.
Okay.
What's
The
the
mine's-
difference in elevation from the road to the site? The site is higher than the road, isn't it?
Yeah, if you scroll down, all the way back down.
Yeah, I think we have the,
It has that one view.
yeah, there's like,
The point I'm trying to make is that you're gonna be driving down the road at a lower elevation
Yeah.
than the site plan, so you're gonna be looking up at an angle over the top of the fence. So how
Yeah.
much of the roof are you really gonna see?
Here, scroll.
Well, you're gonna see the one with the gambrel, because it's a much taller roof.
Yeah.
Keep
The one that's sitting
scrolling
back,
down.
it's
They're
right
right
loose
here.
kind of anyway, so.
Okay.
Couple feet.
Make it a simple
I
gable.
rotate it for you, and there's no one else here. But yeah, this is you in the travel lane, that's the edge of road, and this is your line of sight, so these are the back ones. So that one that you're gonna put is gonna be more here with G sets, and you're gonna see more
The
of
only
that
one
one.
that's you're gonna be seeing is the one with gamma roof.
Exactly. So let's let that be the.
Yeah,
kind
the
of
standout
angle.
with the cupola on
Yeah.
it and the metal roof. Yeah, I like that
Then you only have to
idea.
buy one cupola instead of 6.
There you go.
I mean, I will say, from a developer perspective, I personally really appreciate you guys willing to go above and beyond, because most of the utilities are just thrown there and done as cheap as possible, and, you know, if we leave it up, completely up to you guys, that's what we're gonna get. So we appreciate you being open.
We ready for the vote?
I have a, ask. The Eastern Red Cedar, can you just swap that out with another pine tree?
Yeah.
All the neighbors will have baby red cedars everywhere, and they will all hate you for that.
And are you good with the red bud and everything
Yes,
else?
I'm good with the rest of them.
Well,
I appreciate you putting that.
The only thing you're gonna need to do is make sure that any of the foliage that goes in there is salt tolerant.
Well, I'm sure his landscaper put those together. Carrie Ann looked it over, and she's the native specialist, so,
Yeah, the red cedar, it's gonna be everywhere. It'll be in the solar
I mean, I
field,
love the
it'll be
tree.
everywhere.
do you have a suggestion on a tree for them?
No, I mean, whatever pine tree.
Just another.
A Norway?
just
Swap out.
A Norway would be great from disease, right? From a
I-
disease perspective?
I'd have to look up what, like, salt.
That's the
Norway's-
other thing, yeah.
Norways are great, from a
Making sure we don't get that
disease-resistant, full
disease,
sun,
yeah.
big.
Are the weeds gonna cause any problems for your facilities?
We have a maintenance plan, and they come out once a month, if not more often, depending on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask Danny. I mean, our ordinances are really not, so a lot of people are like, okay, everything looks beautiful initially, but if there's not a commitment to edge the bed annually, put new mulch down, as plant material dies, you swap it out. I mean, is that what you're committed to doing? Because
Yeah,
you're right on the side of the road.
We do maintenance plans. We set those up for like the landscaping stuff. The rest of the like mowing and stuff is done by an O&M contractor, and they decide that with the client.
Okay.
We tell them you should mow weekly, but they tend to look into what your standards are and figure out like the highest it can go and see if they can go like once every 2 weeks without like getting aggressively over, because when you get those rainy periods, you're gonna need to be out there once a week. And
Yeah, I
there's
feel
gonna
like
be
it's
other
mostly
times.
just the annual, like, is plant material dies, or
Yeah.
cutting into the
Monthly,
edging
they're
on the
supposed to come
beds.
out and check all the landscaping. If
weeds.
something's dead, they're supposed to switch it out. Yep.
And do you feel like you guys would be open to the outcropping on each side?
I don't see an issue with that either.
Okay,
I think as far as it comes to the scheduled maintenance, if it's not getting done to our satisfaction, especially Rachel's, and she'll be watching it, you'll be getting a phone call anyway, so.
Yep, and they can adjust their schedule, but our goal is never to have you guys contact us about anything. We go through all your different codes and try to go above and beyond that.
we appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank
We
you,
don't want to be a nuisance, we want to be good neighbors.
thank you.
So how do we incorporate the color ideas that we've got in terms of approvals or?
I think you just incorporate stipulations as highlighted by the planning commission, so I think staff has has taken notes here. So maybe the approval of the special use would be approved with the define site plan stipulations as it relates to the board and batten, materials, architectural. So we have a list right here, so we'll incorporate that in the notes.
Okay.
Johns, do you guys have any other thoughts on color?
No, I think I really like your
It doesn't
ideas.
have to be a condition.
Okay, so you like the.
I don't want to overmanage it anyway, so
Subject to
I
architectural
think
landscape.
there's been so many good ideas already brought to the table. I think it's a good problem, but the challenge is, okay, let's weed through all the good ideas and come up with
Carrie,
our final
do
plan.
you have any thoughts on color? John?
Neutral's fine.
I'm good with the colors that you get.
Okay, I will get the color scheme that I forwarded. I actually got it from my neighbor up north, and I will forward their architectural shingle. The bronze is just gonna be a bronze. Do we want everything white, or do you want bronze utility with bronze doors? Because I think it needs a little bit of bronze.
I don't think they're gonna see the doors, right, because of the fence?
Well, when the gates are open, you will see a couple of them.
I don't think it's going to show, by the time you get done with your foliage, you're not going to be able to see much of anything other than what's up.
True, unless the gates
So
are
just
open.
add
Right,
a
only
condition
caveat on
B,
the
and we're
doors.
saying subject to.
The ones that we're building, the
subject to what?
doors are east and west,
Okay.
and not from the front. The ones that would be from the front
Okay.
are blocked right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Down on the windows there.
So you're not going to
When
see
you're
any
looking
of
for the
it.
gate, maybe see these doors, maybe.
Right, but I think that the bronze would look better with that metal roof and potentially add some warmth to the fence and the architectural shingle.
You know what, do that on the front one,
Yeah.
and then leave the other ones just,
John, you think that's good?
Yeah, I would, again, if we're looking at the bronze on the, let's call it the gambrel roof one.
Okay. All right.
and that way there, your eyesight's gonna go to the one and not to the all.
Okay, look at you. You're like our little designer. I love it. Okay, that sounds like we have a plan.
My question, would that be reviewed during engineering, site, or building? How are you guys gonna review that to make sure that they are happy with it?
Well-
So we actually have the board, basically, the board's the next step, so the board has to agree to all of these things that they're suggesting.
Right.
So then it'll be written into the ordinance, with the board approval.
Right.
And that, then it'll be at the time of building permit that we can, or verify that you're meeting all of those requirements.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
You don't have to come see us again.
No, I just wanted to make sure that
Well,
you guys
so, I mean,
saw the updated and
Yes.
then got it.
Yeah, so
to
our
agree
job
with
is
it.
to put the best project forward to the board, so they don't have to do all of this extra. They have their own work
Yeah.
that they'll, be looking at and consider. But that's why we go through this pretty stringently, so it makes it easier for them. So,
So you got a motion all put together? I believe so. So we need to make a motion for approval for, first we need to close the,
Yes, motion to close the public hearing.
I need to make a motion to close the public hearing.
second? I'll make the motion.
Make a motion.
Yes.
Need a second?
I'll second.
I will.
I can say.
Okay, that's closed. We need to make a motion for the approval of special use permit number 25-016 for AECom and Metafiber hut facility with the stipulations discussed in tonight's meeting with the board related to the finishing of the fiber hut buildings, meaning that the building to the northwest corner will receive a gambrel roof.
Northeast.
I'm sorry, northeast corner will receive a gambrel roof design with a metal roof and a central cupola in the middle of the roof. The siding will be a composite siding with board and batten and trimmed out with the bronze trim as we've discussed on our meeting, and which will be forwarded to the board with the color selections that have been presented in an email from Rachel Rockwell. The other 5 buildings, one which will be under construction with this first one, in addition to the 4 in the future, will all be done with a gambrel roof that has been presented tonight, also with board and batten composite siding. The siding will match the color scheme that will be approved for the northeast corner building with the gambrel roof on it. So I make a motion for that approval.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Can I have a second from John?
Yes.
Did they incorporate all of our conditions
We
too?
take a vote on that.
Yes.
Robert Earhart.
Yes.
I'm
John
not sure,
Dukes.
actually. I think
Yes. John Gundorf.
Yes.
We'll
John
incorporate
Coy.
it anyways.
Yes.
Rachel Rockwell.
No.
Carrie Ann Dubina.
Yes.
Rebecca Sable is absent. The motion passes.
Thank you. We really appreciate everything you guys are going above and beyond. We appreciate it.
Then adjourn the meeting.
Yeah. One of the things I think would suggest, for years, I was on the Municipal Design Review Committee in Chicago. They're basically made up of mostly North Shore communities. And one of the things I've observed many times is actually a planning commission, which I compliment. You really get into design, you really focus on design, which I think is fantastic. I think that's great. That's, at the end of the day, that's what really makes a community create a real sense of place. But as a lawyer speaking, I do think that it would behoove the village and the planning commission and ultimately the village board to really, from a legal basis, to create some type of maybe a little more specific design standards and architectural design standards. A lot of North Shore communities have those. Either at Kenilworth or Lake Forest
Yeah.
or Wilmette, they have those explicit design standards, which basically just gives you a legal basis to have this kind of discussion. So it makes me a little nervous. There's really nothing specifically in your ordinance, the village ordinance, the zoning ordinance, that gives you the legal authority to maybe have this kind of discussion. So just as an attorney, I think as a planner for over 30 years, I think the discussion you're having is fantastic. But as a lawyer, it makes me a little nervous. So I do think that over the next number of months, we may want to explore creating some type of architectural design standards or site plan review where you can talk about materials, you can talk about architectural vernacular designs. There's all kinds of variations. You can get very specific. The North Shore communities, they're very, very specific
Yep.
of what they're looking for.
So I just want to say that when Jennifer Conan created the group where we sat with the village pre-development, and had those discussions, this was all part of the conversation, that it was always her intention. Part of her intention on bringing me as part of the Plan Commission was to bring some of those ideas forward, because the village at one time used to have the Architectural Review Committee that would have a lot of these conversations, and that went away.
But what tools did you use? Did you have design standards? Did you have a design ordinance? Did you have?
No, so
did you have-
part of those conversations at that time with Jen and Scott Koppel were, we need to start moving in that direction.
Because a lot of communities have an architectural review board. So
Yes,
prior
which we used to,
Prior to going to the plan commission and village board, we go to the architectural review board. But the start of that discussion is there's very specific design standards.
Yeah.
The community has, i.e. they've adopted them.
That's right.
As part of their ordinance. So every developer who walks through that door knows exactly what the parameters are.
expectation is.
For discussion.
Right.
So again, I think it's great that you're having this discussion, but I do think that you need to put, maybe put the cart before the horse.
I don't disagree with you. This has been part of the conversation privately with, when I was a part of that group. President Stillwell's doing something a little bit differently. We've talked about it a little bit. We've only had a few meetings. We're kind of focused a little bit more on, her vision is a little bit different, and it's done different, and it's great, but it's just different. So I think this would be good to mention to the board, because these ordinances and not having enough, where we're talking about how many trees are planted, but we don't care what the buildings look like, is it's way out of the future of what we want development to look like here.
Right, so you have a vision, you need to create that vision document, and then you have to have standards which are consistent with that vision. but it has to be adopted by the village board as an ordinance.
And who puts that forward? Just we do as a group? We have that
Well,
conversation?
Well,
I
that's-
think it should be addressed before it gets to us.
I agree. That's why I've mentioned it many times it's time and money, it's changing ordinances, it's legal fees, I don't know what the budget is and,
Should there be an architectural review board that is kind of between, kind of the step before us?
I mean, there used to be.
I know.
I don't know what happened to
he's saying
them.
is there's no like standards at all.
There
anyway,
isn't,
so,
right?
yeah.
For the
That's the
architectural
starting
review
point.
board
That's the
or
starting
for
point.
us, yes.
Right.
And I think that whether you have an architectural review board or the planning commission is kind of an ad hoc architectural review board
Yeah.
combined, I don't think that really,
Yeah.
matters. But the most important thing is to first review, create those standards and adopt them, so you can use that as a.
Well, and to your point, other villages have already created this wheel, we can
Correct.
just,
There's a
yeah,
lot of villages have done this already, so.
exactly.
You can incorporate some of that. So it's probably a combination of staff and a consultant, we can help our firm. We do that. I've done a lot of design standards in my career. Other communities have, if you look at Plainfield or other communities, they have a lot of design standards.
I agree. So thank you for mentioning that.
We did take the phone and close.
Not yet,
Okay.
because we have to go through.
No, we did close the hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to close public hearing.
Okay, take a vote to close the public hearing. Robert Earhart?
Yes?
Myself, yes. John Gundorf?
Yes.
John Koya?
Yes.
Rachel Rockwell?
Yes.
Carrie Ann Dabina?
Yes.
Public hearing's closed. Commissioner comments and miscellaneous information. Anything else we want to talk about?
When's the solar panels gonna go in?
We're reviewing permits right now.
So that's still gonna happen there along 30 and Dugan?
They get their permits by April 16th.
Anything new coming?
Next month, you'll have the school district apply for final PUD for the bus barn.
Maybe.
So if they get their revisions to us, that may come next month. That's about it.
I guess you can close.
No public comment?
Nothing?
You sure?
Man, this is your time.
Okay, I make a motion for adjournment. 6:42.
Well, you gotta get somebody to second it.
I need a second.
Second.
Meeting is closed.
Okay.